Tonight, we will crown a champion of the Central Conference. What more needs to be said? It's one of the most intriguing storylines of the USL 2 2024 playoffs. A 29-year veteran program with more wins, more championships, more division titles than just about anybody out there, going up against this year's Cinderella story. It's first seeded champion of the Great Lakes Division, Flint City Bucks, taking on the hosts and second seeded of this pod, Peoria City. Welcome into Shea Stadium, everybody. I'm Cody Roskins. Alongside me, Jonathan Michael. Jonathan, as we take a quick look at the bracket, we see just a few hours ago, FC Tucson advancing to the National Semifinal. They'll await the winner of tonight's matchup. Yeah, great win for FC Tucson. It really showed a lot of resilience. Went down 1-0 in the first half, scored twice in the second half, including the game winner in the 81st minute. So they're going to pose a stiff test for whoever wins this game. Already beat Ventura County. Really looking forward to this game, though. I think this is going to be the game to match. Conflicting storylines tonight. A champion that really doesn't bow much to anybody. Scored down 9-11 men to win their last playoff matchup in Flint City. But on the other hand, it's Peoria City, who many said are punching above their weight class tonight. Yeah, certainly. Really, no one expected Peoria City to get this far in the playoffs. It looked like they were dead to rights against Des Moines, down 5-4 in the second minute of stoppage time in extra time. Then they scored a goal on the final play of the game by Fritz Volmar. Although a big storyline tonight, though, he and Abasa Aramiao, two defenders for Peoria City, two key ones are from the back line, are gone tonight. Now, Flint City will also work slightly shorthanded. They had 2 yellow cards in their last playoff match, one of which has been rescinded, so not necessarily shorthanded, but they'll make some adjustments tonight as well. Yeah, certainly. Again, Flint City really played well against Fort Wayne, even when they were down 1, sometimes even 2 guys. I think even when they were down by 1 or 2 guys, they still had the advantage on the field, and most of the time they were controlling the pace. They looked really impressive. So when they have full 11 strength tonight, it's going to be a fun game to watch. We're expecting between 1,500 fans and 2,000 fans to cram in here at Shea Stadium in Peoria, Illinois tonight, John. Tonight, we're going to crown a champion in the Central Conference. Will be this year's Cinderella, Peoria City, or one of the reigning powers, the Flint City Bucks. Can't wait to bring you the action next. We'll step aside for a short break. And with that, welcome fans to Shea Stadium here in Peoria, Illinois, the host venue for tonight's Central Conference Championship between the perennial power and #1 seeded out of the Great Lakes. It's the Flint City Bucks and the #2 seeded runner-up in the Heartland and host of this conference final, Peoria City. I'm Cody Roskins. Alongside me, my broadcast partner tonight, head coach of Peoria Notre Dame, Mike Baer. And Coach, it's a great atmosphere tonight. One of these 2 teams is moving on. The other one's going home.
Yeah, Cody, it's a beautiful night, a beautiful field. The 309's down there with the drums a-banging. We got 2 great teams. It's going to be a great match tonight. The home side, Peoria City, looking to win a conference championship tonight in their 3rd season in the league.
It could be an incredible feat. One of the main storylines coming in, it's the perennial power against this year's Cinderella. And many thought that tonight, Peoria City will be punching above their weight class as they will take on a team with more division titles, more wins, and a lot more national championships than just about anybody out there. They've been here and done that. Peoria City and the Young Carp are looking to claim their first. While we take a quick moment, we want to step aside as we welcome you to the pageantry of tonight's starting lineups and national anthem.
gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise if you are able. Gentlemen, please remove your caps and face the colors atop the grandstand with your hand over your heart for the playing of our national anthem. Tonight's USL League 2 game officials are Nemanja Stevanovic, Ivan Bursiaga, Quinn Bukovic, and Enoch Oladipo. Now let's meet the starting 11s, beginning with our visitors from Flint. In goal, number 31, Jacob Grisiak. Number 2, Scott McLeod. Number 5, Jonas Bukti. Number 7, William Pondeka. Number 8, Malik Henry. Number 9, Hosmir Gomez. Number 10, Colin Innes. Number 14, Dyson Clapier. Number 18, Schneider Mimi. Number 19, Brock Pickett. And number 27, Dyer O'Riordan. Head coach for the Bucks is Paul Doro. And now let's meet the starting 11 for your hometown, Peoria City. In between the pipes from Paris, France, 1, Sammy Slimmy. From Durban, South Africa, 3, Josh Reddy. From Norwich, England, 4, Charlie Dickerson. From Crystal Lake, Illinois, 6, Tommy Coughlin. From Setúbal, Portugal, 7, João Saraiva. From Roatan, Honduras, 8, Jose Gomez. From Williamsburg, Virginia, 9, Justin Wilson. From St. Charles, Illinois, 11, Luke Persenico. From Louisville, Texas, 14, DJ Kulai. From Morton, Illinois, 20, Wes Gibson. And from Herald, Denmark, 23, Jonas Lishoy. Head coach for Peoria City is Mike Pay.
And with that, fans, I want you to take a quick glance to your screen as we bring you a big reason why this one is so highly anticipated, hyped, any superlative adjective you could throw on it. The 2 seeds have been wild cards on the left-hand side of the bracket. 5 won first-round games. 3 reached the conference finals, all 3 of which played here in Peoria today. One was sent home in Project 510, one moved on in FC Tucson, and one's fate is still yet to be decided in Peoria City. These two teams, it's a David and Goliath, to say the least, Coach. You've got a Peoria City playing shorthanded, but it's going to take a community tonight. The city of Peoria has shown out well to try and cheer their carp on to the national semifinal. Equally can be said about Flint City. Their supporters have made the trip as well. Yeah, great crowd tonight. Again, we talked about the weather. It's just a fantastic night for a great soccer game. Like you mentioned with Peoria City, they're a little shorthanded along the back line. Abasa, their center back, not playing tonight on a soft red in their last match. Also, Fritz Vollmer not available, who played a pivotal role in scoring that late equalizer to send the game to penalty kicks against Des Moines Menace. He's not available. So two new players step. Josh Reddy will play center back for Peoria City tonight, and Jonas will step out to that right back position. More of an attacking player, but going to slide back and be an attacker from the back line for Peoria City tonight. Tonight's officials: Ivan Bursiaga, Enoch Oladipo, and Mahana Stefanovic will be the three in control of the match tonight. Break down the uniform matchup. It'll be Flint City in the all-red roads with gold trim and numbers. Peoria City, it'll be the all-blacks with gold numbers and gold trim. Peoria City took down one of the biggest thorns in their side, so to speak, last Sunday in what was the craziest soccer game I've ever seen live. They led 3-1. They ended up being tied 3-3 at the end of regulation. They dropped down after leading in extra time 4-1 to 5-4. They score with no time left in extra time. They win it in PKs in front of the home faithful. Tonight, a much taller task. Flint City, a team with so much pedigree in the USL too, it practically resonates itself. Yeah, Peoria City, last week I was sitting just behind the bench during that game. It felt like they lost the game 3 different times. You know, being up 3-1 in the second half, allowing Des Moines to come back into that game. The body language going into halftime was not great for Peoria City. Then to go up and then to be down with seconds left to score on a long throw to send it to penalty kicks. Sammy Slimmy comes up big in penalties, saving 2, sending Peoria City into this round against the Giant in Flint City. DJ Kulai gets us underway from Shea Stadium. Josh Reddy will play it off to Sammy Slimmy. These two teams took different paths to get to the point of the postseason. For Peoria City, they've done nothing but take down #1 seed so far. They defeated Thunder Bay 2-0. They defeated the Des Moines Menace after a 5-5 extra time and 90-minute full time. Took them down 4-2 in PKs. For Flint City, they took down the Cleveland Force 1-0 and then Fort Wayne FC 2-1. After being down 2 men in extra time, they found a way to score. One of those red cards that kind of cost them will be out tonight, but they did get the one rescinded, so Mimi will be in for Flint City tonight. Yeah, interesting start to this game. Peoria City lining up in a 4-2-3-1 formation. Flint City coming out in that 4-3-3, so matching systems. Early on, Peoria City in possession, splitting their center backs, getting their wide backs high up the pitch. I think one of the names we're going to hear a lot tonight is number 8, Malik Henry, playing on the right wing for Flint City. Not the football Malik Henry, the soccer Malik Henry. As this one will be out for a Flint City corner. As that was Josemir Gomez, man out of Butler by way of Indianapolis, Indiana. Yeah, talking to Coach Pay going into this match, he mentioned Malik Henry on the right wing, just extremely pacey. We'll see how Peoria City handles him tonight. The matchup early on is going to be Malik going against Charlie Dickerson at the left back position for Peoria City. Jonas Bichette will take the corner near side. Service in, header up. Flint gets a touch, chip forward, Slimmy snatches it out of the air, and he gets his first action of the game and sends a laser down the near side. It's Luke Persenico, 1-on-1, trying to switch the play, but the wind caught up with it. Yeah, nice little quick counterattack with the big boys for Flint City up on the corner kick. Opportunity for Slimmy to quickly play that side volley out to Persenico. It was a slip there from Malik Henry. Persenico looking for the big switch, just wasn't able to connect. Coming into tonight, anticipating a lot of Flint City to maintain possession, which necessarily isn't okay with Peoria City's side of things. They did surrender much of the game to the Menace in terms of possession, but despite being outshot 28-12, and really they didn't even get to 12 attempts until about the last 10 minutes of extra time, Peoria City knows how to counter quickly, and they feel like that's an avenue in this match that they could try and equalize at times. Yeah, it's not how much you have the ball.
not how many chances you create, it's how many goals you score. Peoria City last week against Des Moines, they scored on probably their first chance on goal, despite Des Moines starting the game really well and generating several chances before Peoria City even had their first chance. Peoria City's more than willing to give up some possession if they can make the most of their opportunities.
That one intended for Henry along the right side, working against Charlie Dickerson, sporting the captain's band tonight for Peoria City. He's playing on his home field, so to speak, plays his college soccer here at Bradley University. So this is his home field for this upcoming fall season. Wes Gibson, ball over the top to Wilson. Said it is taken in by Pickett of Flint.
One of the things, like I mentioned earlier, that we're seeing from Peoria City when they're in possession, they're splitting their center backs. Charlie and Jonas, both the right and the left backs for Peoria City, are getting very high. Their wings are coming in, and they're looking to target some longer balls over the Flint City backs. I think that's one of the things maybe coming into the game they thought they could exploit.
One just over the head of Justin Wilson. Header won by Flint, and Malik Henry gets the first flick forward. Osmir go. Try and pedal to the right, now back inside. Here's Henry against Dickerson.
Nice job by Charlie, just giving Malik a little bit of space, not allowing him to run at him. Because that's where he's going to be hard to defend, out in open space where he comes at you with a little bit of speed.
Colin Ennis got into the action for Flint City. Throw-in coming for the Bucks along this near-sided touchline.
Looks like they're setting up for a longer throw. This is the first opportunity they've had deep with a throw-in.
Finds its way off of two Peoria City defenders first. Peoria City could break out if they get the ball up quickly. Looks like Jose Gomez was running that middle channel and just a little too overplayed.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Flint City scored on a long throw-in late in their match to send them into this match as well.
It was a late header that did go in for the Bucks. I was watching that game on the drive back from Peoria after the Carp took down the Menace. Sammy Slimmy will let it take a bounce and curls it near side, shanked it a little bit.
Sammy had one of those giveaways early in the game against Des Moines as well. Just looked like the wind might have held it up there and didn't quite carry into the 18-yard box. Slimmy trying to make the safe bet there and just looking to play it with his feet.
Slimmy's going to need to be on his toes tonight again. Peoria City working without essentially two members of their back line that have been staples this season. The U20 prospect for the men's national team, Fritz Volmar out of Northwestern, and Abasa Aramiao from Ghana is working on a double yellow, equaling a red, so he's suspended for this match. Should Peoria City find their way through, though, he will be available for the semifinal match against FC Tucson.
Yeah, it really is a contrast in styles here in the first few minutes of the game. Flint City looking to build the ball with passes, with possession. Peoria City, again, pushing almost 5 players along the back line and looking to play more direct balls. You've already seen it 3 or 4 more times. Here's that ball directly from the back to Charlie making a run forward. Tried to curl it towards Justin Wilson. Man from Williamsburg, Virginia. Graduated from Longwood University back in 2021. He's formerly of the Virginia Revolution in the UPSL. And here's Malik Henry, a guy we circled on our spot sheet tonight. Laid off, shot, and it sails into the Shea Brigade. There is one of the downsides for Charlie getting so far advanced forward in the attack is if Malik can catch him the other way in space. And that's what you saw right there. Charlie got caught up. Malik found the space out wide, connected a pass for a real good chance for Flint City. Here's Josh Reddy. He's typically a holding midfielder. Working along the back line tonight. Somehow Slimmy picks out Gomez, going over the top to Luke Persenico. First real chance for Peoria City to get in the final third. Joao Saraiva, he'll put on a shot and plays it well high. And that one will go on to Nebraska Avenue. For me, one of the highlights for Peoria City here, at least recently, is Gomez coming out of the midfield, picking up the ball. His range of passing is phenomenal, able to connect probably a 40 to 50-yard pass, switching play and putting it in Peoria City's most dynamic attackers on his feet.
Again, anticipating a lot of Flint City to hold possession here. Peoria City will press at times. They usually do it later in halves or towards the end of the game. Near side, McLeod.
Yeah, you can hear Coach Pay telling DJ, just stay, relax. No reason to chase the ball around the back line. They have the numbers behind the ball to defend. No sense killing your legs chasing the ball, but be ready to play off the counterattack.
Ball loose in the midfield. Taken in by Josemir Gomez. That will belong to Flint City along that far-sided touchline. DJ Kulai wins the ball back for Peoria City, all but for just a moment, and he's fouled. So one of the guys that we also had circled, but for a different reason, this is Jonas LaShoy, man out of Bryant. He is typically a winger, but due to Abasa Aramiao and Fritz Volmar being out of action today, he's being called upon to play right back and really join the attack at times. But he's going to be a big part of, one, checking the speed of Flint City, but also this will really stretch his capabilities up and down the field tonight. It's going to take a lot out of him.
Yeah, Jonas, probably his biggest strength is his speed. He has the ability to attack with pace, so having him in that wide back position tonight, he's going to be able to attack, but he's also going to have to defend tonight.
Taking the space that's there and now turning it off is Bichette. Peoria City trying to not necessarily collapse the midfield, but take a hesitation touch or two would go a long way for the Carp tonight. Again, they are definitely the David in this David-Goliath matchup. Despite being in front of home faithful, anticipating north of 1,200 fans here in attendance. And it looked like Tommy Coughlin wanted to take it. Instead, he'll give it off to Charlie Dickerson.
Yeah, the Peoria area community really came out tonight. Stands are starting to really fill up. This is probably one of the bigger crowds they've had on the season.
Sammy Slimmy. Line to that far side. Here's Jonas LaShoy, and this is why he's in there. Can distribute from the back position. Instead, a couple of poor bounces for Peoria City. Now Flint, a lot of momentum forward. Josemir Gomez working against LaShoy. Laid off. Quick hesitation touch. Now Claypier. And well defended. Peoria City playing it into the midfield, but nobody there. Henry. O'Riordan. Speared forward. Still here with Henry. Working on Dickerson. Wilson will provide some help. Service in. Now LaShoy up to Persenico. See a lot of this tonight. Peoria City knows they won't hold much of the ball, so they're going to have to defend well for the whole 90, plus whatever extra time there may be needed. But Flint City, there's no doubt about it. They're very impressive in terms of holding the ball, manufacturing chances. They're a team that really produces a lot of quantity and quality of looks.
Yeah, for Peoria City, probably the last 3 times they have won possession, kind of had some careless giveaways. So a big key for them is going to be when they do get on the ball to make the most of it, whether that's some of this direct play they're looking to have or if they do try to connect passes to not give it away in their defensive half of the field.
Justin Wilson to Dickerson. Laid off to Jose Gomez. Your man to watch tonight for the Carp. Lined over the top to Persenico. LaShoy's there and runs it down, and it goes across the far touchline back to Flint City.
I was just bragging him up, and then he missed that pass. He may have told you that he was trying to play that to Jonas, but I think he was trying to target Persenico again there out in the wide areas. Peoria City just trying to keep the spaces tight between the lines, not give those Flint City midfielders much space to work. They've done a pretty good job early on.
Jose Gomez off to LaShoy. Trying to get it to Persenico. One back well by Flint. Tackle along the far side, kept in by Persenico. They don't have numbers, but they have the 3 best forwards on the field in that direction, and it results in a Peoria City free kick. Should note what little wind there is blowing slightly diagonal from the top left-hand corner of your screen to the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Coughlin trying to get it outside to Dickerson, and that had too much on it.
There you see again, just a slightly, the pass is just slightly off. Good idea there. Charlie Dickerson advancing forward. Got to be careful here again with Charlie getting a little bit too high and allowing Malik some space in behind.
Oh, and now there's a lot of numbers forward here. Ooh. Ball over the top, and that was an ambitious effort. And we saw one of those attempts in our first conference final of the night between FC Tucson and Project 510 that nearly went in, and I think that one caught Slimmy a little high off his line.
Yeah, Slimmy was up towards the top of the 18. Flint player picked his head up, tried for goal. I will say that was a good opportunity on the counter for Flint. They had the numbers going forward as well. A little bit of an ambitious effort. Maybe should have taken the numbers.
Back inside, and there is the offside flag. It was a fair chance for Peoria City, but Dickerson is the man that is the guilty party. So Griziak will go ahead and, first time we've had to call his name, throw it off to Machette, man out of Akron and Germany. So all 18 games for the Zips, registered 3 assists. Also had 8 shots, 4 of which were on goal. He was a part of 8 shutouts along the back line for the Akron men's soccer team.
Yeah, it seems like a handful of Akron players here on this Flint City team, and Akron's just a powerhouse in Division I soccer.
Shot on the way, and that one's too high. And over the Shea Brigade as well, as the 309 lets them know about it. But give a lot of credit to Flint. They are registering the chances early, much like Des Moines did. Peoria City is no mystery. They are building for the counterattack tonight.
Still neither goalkeeper has really been tested on target yet. Both teams have had some shots that have sailed over the target. You know, as we go on here, we'll see who gets the first real chance on goal.
Griziak will pick it up. He's out of Oral Roberts and Poland. Started in all 17 of his appearances last season. Allowed just the 1 goal last time out to Fort Wayne FC in their conference semifinal. That went to extra time. They won 2-1 after being down 2 men, which is, again, just no small feat. Laid off for Joao Saraiva. Saraiva whipped back out left to Justin Wilson. Again to Saraiva. Saraiva will push forward, getting low into the penalty area and may generate a goal kick.
Good little passage of play there for Peoria City, though, and getting Joao in a dangerous area where he's really good off the dribble. You know, probably wants that one back. The final pass just wasn't there as he tried with his left foot and put it out of play.
Ball out wide to that far side of the field. Could have some combination here. Jonas Bichette. Jose Gomez, slide tackle in, gets a piece of it on Malik Henry. Joao Saraiva running hard, that's Tommy Coughlin. Coughlin to Persenico. Plays it out wide. Coughlin chipped back inside and above everything. It never really crossed back in front of goal. DJ Kulai was making the nearest run for Peoria City.
A little bit of a careless pass there from Flint City. Coughlin took a chance, was able to turn Flint over in their defensive half of the field. Again, though, it's just that final pass, that final shot that's not there for either team yet so far in this match.
So we go 18th minute here in half number 1 of the Central Conference Finals. Winner will take on FC Tucson just on Sunday. It'll be an early afternoon kickoff from this very venue. Henry will pick up the second touch for Flint. And a foul will be given to Jose Gomez.
I think he got some of the ball, got a little bit of the player. Might have had his studs up coming in for that tackle. Most times there, you're probably going to pick up the foul.
Yeah, no problem with the call. And again, we'll have a good officiating crew here tonight. Again, those officials for you: Ivan Bursiaga, Enoch Oladipo, and Noman Stefanovic. Work their fair share of both Division I men's soccer, along with USL 2 and USL matches as well. Dare Ryadan from Davenport U in Cork, Ireland, will swing his right foot into this one on the free kick. And Sammy Slimmy comes away with it.
It's a little bit too much air underneath that free kick. That's going to be Sammy's ball all day.
Ready. It takes a bad touch for Peoria City. Chance here for Flint. Carrying throughs. Ready. Clears it out of it for just a moment. Dangerous moments for Peoria City. Out wide to Gomez. Now to Persenico. Keeps it in. Persenico off to Gomez. And nothing doing.
Peoria City there pushing those fullbacks up the field. Ready with a little bit of a giveaway there. Caused a great chance for Flint. And I believe that was Tommy Coughlin that tracked back out of the midfield. Got his foot in there for the tackle. Really a dangerous tackle to make coming from behind in your own 18, but was able to poke the ball away.
Again, two players playing out of position along the back line for Peoria City. They're just going to have to try and gut this one out. Meanwhile, Flint playing slightly shorthanded. They have one red on the books tonight. They do get Mimi back. And I talked with head coach Paul Doro before the match today, head coach at Oakland. He was saying there are no seeds left. Make no mistakes about it, shorthanded or not. They know Peoria City's a quality side, and vice versa. They know that they themselves in Flint are a very talented team, and he's like, we just have to come out, tackle our ones and twos, and we'll be okay tonight.
First real long throw opportunity for Reddy coming up here. When he's traditionally playing in a wide back position, you see him taking these all day long. And we don't have Abasa tonight, who's usually the target on these long throws. So we'll see what Peoria City does with it tonight.
Ready. Trying to hunt out Dickerson. It's loose. Played up the near side and taken away by Jose Gomez. Again, we will distinguish. There's a Hosmir and a Jose in this match tonight. So apologies if we ever slip up on that one. So far, I don't believe we have, but just for a future reference. Dickerson laid off. Tommy Coughlin. Back to Coughlin, but well won by Brock Pickett. Trying to play it in behind. Hosmir Gomez trying to run it down. And we'll go to Peoria City. Josh Reddy taking the space that's there to Coughlin.
Tommy Coughlin out of Crystal Lake, Illinois. Probably one of the most active midfielders you will see. He definitely puts in the miles there in the midfield for Peoria City, up and down, sideline to sideline.
Kula, I lost it along the near side. It will go back to Flint.
Slight change here for Peoria City. They got Justin Wilson now playing the point position. DJ slid out to this left wing. Coach Pay gives a little bit of freedom to his front three to interchange positions throughout the match.
Oh, here's a chance for Hosmir Gomez. Carries inside, working against Josh Reddy, and it generates another Flint City Bucks corner. Give a lot of credit to Flint. They've done a good job with their line and shape staying intact. So far, they've generated quite a few chances for themselves.
Way too much space there for Gomez. I'm not sure how he got that free, but able to carry the ball into the Peoria City box.
Again, if you're tuning in from back in Michigan or wherever cheering on the Bucks, I want to welcome you in to our Clutch Sports Media broadcast here simul-streamed on Sports Engine Play and YouTube. That one over and nearly then for Flint City.
Really good ball played in. Slimmy came out to try to make a play on it, just went right over his head. A couple Flint City players sitting there at the top of the six just weren't able to connect.
Here's Wes Gibson, the 2023 Defensive Player of the Year for Peoria City, trying to play it ahead to Persenico. Persenico has it in the final third. Gets his right foot on it to LaShoy. LaShoy, his effort forward is blocked. Now Joao Saraiva. LaShoy again to Saraiva. Well done by Flint to get back in the transition game.
That was the second slippage I saw from a Flint City player so far tonight. A lot of these games I know are played on turf surfaces, so them coming into a nice natural grass field, the sun goes down, it gets a little dewy, it gets a little slick, there's water before the match. They may not be used to dealing with that situation.
Jacob Griziak. Ball out wide. We're just about halfway gone here in this first half as we get to the 24th minute. Near side. Working against Wilson. Now here's Henry on Dickerson. And ball deflected. Chance for Flint again. Bad passing from Peoria City, leading to the turnover. Dare O'Riordan. And that will just stay inside the run of play to Sammy Slimmy, the man out of Campbell.
There you saw probably the third or fourth giveaway from Peoria City in their defensive half of the field. Got to be really careful turning over there and giving Flint some chances they otherwise wouldn't create on their own.
DJ Kulai trying to get on the shoulder of one of the center backs. Instead, Griziak corrals it. As we go 26th minute. And that one will sail across the near-sided touchline to Peoria City. And Coach, it's been a pretty vanilla first 25 minutes and change. Neither of these two teams have done a whole lot. Give credit to Flint. They've had the more chances, at least in the early going. Officially, it's 4-1 in favor of the Bucks. Ball over the top for Wilson. Griziak retreats. Here's Kulai. Kulai laid off. Persenico. He goes down. I don't think either of the Carp knew who wanted to pull the trigger.
Yeah, DJ came inside on his right foot. You thought he was going to pull the trigger and look to lay off to Persenico, who almost looked like he stepped on the ball and the ball got taken out from underneath his foot. But there you see that longer ball back to front paying off for Peoria City. They've been looking for it all half. That time they were able to play DJ into space and he was able to use his speed.
Nobody making a run in behind for Peoria City. And that was just previously the winger playing right back tonight. Jonas LaShoy with the standing tackle. Going near side. Here is Henry. He's got a lot of pace, ton of speed. Chipped back inside, takes one hop, and it clears. Number 9 intended for Hosmer Gomez. Threatening look from Malik Henry.
I feel like as the half has gone on, Peoria City's doing a little bit better job targeting those longer passes and giving their front 3 to front 5 when the fullbacks advance forward a real chance to get on the end of those balls. And then what Coach Pay's yelling out is, if we're not going to get on the end of the first ball and Flint wins that first ball, can we pick up the seconds in the midfield?
Luke Persenico will dish it off to LaShoy. Too far out for a Josh Reddy long throw. Will be marked by Colin Inez. Trying to find some opening. LaShoy finds Saraiva. LaShoy has it back. Working 1-on-2, and LaShoy will go back to Flint City.
Yeah, really looking for the first team to make the most of their moments. So far, we've seen both teams get into the final third, create chances, but the final shot is off target, the final pass is off target. Neither goalkeeper has yet to be tested.
Jose Gomez to Coughlin, and just overextended passing for Peoria City leads to the turnover taken in by Darryl Riordan. And Reddy, it's a little tangled up there with Josmir Gomez, who's had a very active first half. He has definitely found himself into the groove of this game as the central striker.
Yeah, Gomez has definitely played a part in this game. Looks like a nice, big, strong body up there, too, and there was one of the first times Flint looked with more of a longer targeted pass up to Gomez.
Near side again to Henry. He will drive forward, working on Jose Gomez. Gets by him. And Tommy Coughlin, all for just a moment, won the ball back, but Darryl Riordan.
Peoria City's going to take that all day with Malik coming inside to his weaker left foot, going away from the goal, and then passing the ball off his foot. What we want to try to avoid for Peoria City is where Malik can get a head of steam coming forward on his favorable right foot and be able to get down the right flank.
Working along that far side, able to find some space to Colin Innes. He tries to go top of the formation, does so. Wes Gibson with a little side heel push forward. Here's DJ Kulai. Kulai, officials say play on. Kulai wanting the foul, and you can see both sides to the argument on that one. Not a ton there.
Yeah, I don't think that's a foul. He took a little bit of contact, a little push in the back, got put off balance, ended up kind of stumbling over the ball.
Give and go. Jose Gomez running forward and hard tackle. Got the ball, so well played by Flint. Joao Saraiva trying to win it back. Here's Wilson, and there's a foul and a yellow on Justin Wilson. So we have our first booking of the night.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit of frustration from Wilson after the foul on Gomez that Gomez felt was a foul. I think it was a clean tackle. Gomez came in to make a play, got his elbow up a little bit high, made contact, and probably rightfully so deserved the caution.
As we get past the 31st minute. Peoria City voicing their concern with our field official in terms of perhaps not calling the first and calling the second. But again, from our vantage point up here, which is a little skewed, it looked like a fair tackle by Flint.
Yeah, I think the referee's really gotten it right so far in this match. Maybe some of those tackles will liven up this game a little bit for us.
And these two teams haven't generated a ton. Just a total of 5 shots officially registered here in this first half. Going over the top, Dickerson wins the first header, but Henry is there. A poor first touch by both sides. We'll give it back to Flint. Back to Henry. Tries to attack Dickerson. Dickerson, slide tackle, generates a Flint City corner. Third corner of the night for the Bucks. Jonas Bichette will make the trot to the near-sided corner flag to try and put this one in for service.
The last one was extremely dangerous. That whipping ball that Slimmy misjudged, went over his head. See if they can create another great goal-scoring opportunity off of this corner kick.
Field official wanting some words around Sammy Slimmy, and an often strategy is try and wall off the keeper, more or less. And again, this is a club in its 29th year for Flint City against a team in their 3rd. So a lot of experience, a lot of pedigree for one side, a team just trying to make a name for themselves on the other. Line towards that back post, dangerous chance. Still free, turn, put back inside. Slimmy stops it on the doorstep.
I think that was Gomez potentially that got the deflection on that shot. Otherwise, that could have been trouble.
And Peoria City will be first to this one after Griziak makes the smart play and letting his team get back. Here's Persenico. Persenico, step over, shot, and that one was hooked. Caught the bottom part of the ball.
Exactly what Persenico wanted there, cutting into his favored left foot, getting a clean strike off, but just not able to get it on target. And that's kind of been the story of the half so far for Peoria City. They've gotten off a few chances, but nothing on target yet.
Can't say we're really in the feeling out process for these two sides. We're nearing halftime. They've definitely orchestrated some chances. You have to say Flint's definitely had the better of the first half. And that one will be escorted out of play to Peoria City.
Be really interesting coming out of halftime if we see any changes in the way either team's trying to play. If Peoria City continues some of those back-to-front balls, looking to play in behind Flint City. If Flint City continues to try to build on the ground, or if they change things up a little bit, it'd be really interesting to see us, especially as the substitutions start coming.
Gomez out wide to Wilson. Can he find some help? Off to Kulai. DJ Kulai working inside, now back to the left, spits it back towards that far post, and just a little too much altitude on it.
Definitely see what he's trying to do there. He cut back to his left foot and almost just looked to chip the ball to the back post to beat the goalkeeper to the far post, and just couldn't quite get it down on target.
Ball out wide. Ball lost in the midfield. Just a moment. Flint still has it. 35th minute here in half number one, still scoreless. Cody Roskins here alongside me, head coach of Peoria Notre Dame, the very prominent high school program here in Peoria, Mike Baer. And Coach, as you wind down the final 10 minutes, I guess just a synopsis of the first half. Both teams, punch, counter punch.
I think both teams are doing what they want to do in terms of their game plan coming into the match. It's just really comes down to the final third and the final pass, the final shot just really hasn't been there for either team yet. Definitely Flint seems to be the stronger side, had more of the ball, but Peoria City probably came into this match expecting not to have as much of the ball. So again, both teams kind of doing what they want. Who's going to take the first punch? Who's going to make the first blow?
Lid off to Bichette. Now Malik Henry.
And that's one of the matches we talked a lot about coming into this match was Malik Henry against Charlie Dickerson. So far, Charlie stood up and done a great job. You know, everything I heard in the scouting report was about Malik getting the ball and using his pace to run at defenders, and we really haven't seen that from him yet in this first half.
Foul on Josmir Gomez against Jose Gomez. And so Peoria City will take the free kick to Wes Gibson. Lined in over the top, trying to get it to LaShoy, making a rare run from that right back spot. Really has to count on Persenico to kind of trade off at some point tonight.
I was going to see if Jonas was like, you know what, Persenico, why don't you stay back there and play some right back so I can be on the wing, my more comfortable position, but they've exchanged back. Jonas got back. That is what he gives you in that position, the ability to use his pace to get forward.
Dickerson able to cut it out from Henry. Coughlin back to Wes Gibson.
There's definitely a calmness in the air.
Yeah, neither team really feels like they're necessarily exerting a ton, but overly pressed. DJ Kulai trying to find some help, flicked forward, still curled. Now was nearly on the left foot of Persenico.
That's one of Persenico's best moves. He looks just to lift the ball over the defender's foot. He did it last week against Des Moines Menace. Defender was ready for it and was able to poke it away.
37th minute, just about gone here in half number one. Nice job getting it to the foot of the central striker. Now trying to turn and burn is Josmir Gomez. And that one, much like a lot of the shots here in half number one, has been a fair amount off and due to the deflection it took. So it will generate another Flint City Bucks corner.
Sometimes those deflections are the ones that end up in the back of the net.
Like we saw last Sunday with Peoria City, the goal they scored in the final. I had my stopwatch, and it was over the allotted time they said to add back on. And Fritz Volmar took one deflection off of a Menace defender to put it 5-5.
Yeah, the funny thing about that goal, it was off our throw-in. Peoria City throw-in became a header for Des Moines, another header from Des Moines. Shot from Volmer. Ooh.
Headed back post, and that had Slimmy beat. Carp survive another scare. And again, coming into the postseason, Mike Pay thought that was a spot where Peoria City was not really going to have a advantage more often than not. They do have Amasa Aramiao, but more often than not, his height isn't enough, and tonight he's not even available.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that shot I think was a little bit closer than everybody thinks. Our angle, that looked like that was tailored towards the top far post.
And Saraiva goes over it. It will be a goal kick. It took a touch off of Saraiva. Halfway through the 39th minute. Again, only the one yellow card really of note here in half number one. Won't be a ton of stoppage time tacked back onto this first half. Dickerson to Gomez. Sammy Slimmy trying to get it over the top to Wilson. Wilson will be there first. Played off to Joao Saraiva.
I guess why build it with passes if you can get there with one pass?
Saraiva, well done by Flint. They've done such a good job in the transition game here today. Getting back quickly, cutting off many approaches from Peoria City. And the offside flag is up.
Yeah, that's one as a coach you don't ever want to see from your team, because Charlie's looking across the line of Flint City. Should be able to hold himself onside. Just got a little bit too far forward and didn't work out for us there.
You got a quick read of the stats so far in this one for the home-sided Peoria City. 3 shots and 2 saves, no corners. For the visitors from Flint City, it's been 6 shots, no saves, 4 corners. As this first half continues to enter its twilight stages. Saw a 41st minute goal in the first of our 2-game doubleheader today as LaShoy gets shaken. Chance to get forward. This is what Peoria City was worried about. Playing him out of position, whipped inside. Reddy gets there first. Still in a threatening spot, blocked out by LaShoy. Persenica walled off on that near side corner flag, and it's played up the line, but it's still with the Bucks.
You know, there Jonas got beat. He got wrong-footed. He got put to the ground, but great job of hopping up and recovering and ended up denying some service and a corner kick for Flint City.
A lot of space here for Bichette. Out wide to Henry. Played through, working against Wilson. And Sammy Slimmy just spears it forward. DJ Kulai gets one touch on the header to Jose Gomez, out to Joao Saraiva. They've got numbers breaking. There's Coughlin, and that will stick with Peoria City.
I feel like this game just really needs a goal.
Yeah, we've seen a couple times. Now, Peoria City scored at least 2 in every single one they've had so far this postseason. Back to Coughlin. He doesn't have any midfield help because Jose Gomez got decked. He has been on the blunt end of a few plays this postseason. He got nearly concussed against the Menace on a free kick and took another hard fall later in that match in the penalty area. And Charlie Dickerson is not too pleased as Mark Colston from the Bradley Athletics training staff will have to come out to tend to Jose Gomez. This is definitely one of the calmest matches we've had here at Shea Stadium, and it's on the biggest stage. And I don't know if that means that both teams are just confident and quiet or what, but I saw Mike Pay sitting out on the bleachers earlier and just feet kicked up. He's like, I'm feeling pretty good about today.
Yeah, at this point, you know, you've done everything you can do in training. You come out with a game plan, and then it's up to the players to perform on the field. Again, like I just mentioned, I just think this game just needs a goal. You know, once we see a goal, I think this game's really going to open up. Right now, I think both teams are a little unwilling to take unnecessary risks. They don't want to have the mistake that's going to result in a goal that could change this contest.
So a yellow will be awarded when it's all said and done. Notice LaShoy's along that far side of the field after the official blew for play to be stopped. Again, this time we'll be tacked back on as we're in the 44th minute of this first half, and Jose Gomez looks like he's okay enough to come back in.
I think all these fans are just looking for something to excite them. It just feels a little bit, the environment feels a little bit dead for so many people. And I think the fans, Peoria City just needs to have a moment here to liven up this environment.
Well, Peoria is a soccer town. They've definitely had a lot of basketball history at Bradley, but it's a town that loves their soccer as LaShoy tries to run in on that one, and they know how big of a moment it is. They're hanging on every swing of the ball, and equally so, those from Flint that have made the trip down. I've heard them start a few "Let's Go Bucks" chants. Ball over the top, ready. Wins the initial header to Jose Gomez. And a chopped pass back to Slimmy. That one carries in the air. Saraiva wins it. Trying to get it forward to Kulai. Now here come Flint. They've got 3 forward. Ready, tries to get in the middle. Strong tackle by Wes Gibson. That gets the crowd to their feet.
Yeah, Wes had to stand tall there, and he certainly did with a great tackle right outside of his penalty area.
That one bending. And it had that maybe straightened out. I don't know if Slimmy was close enough in to track it down, but it bent just slightly to the left. So we're in the 45th minute. Official time is being kept on the field now.
Referees determined there will be approximately 1 minute of stoppage time.
Wow, only 1 minute.
Only one. That surprises me some. Gomez chipped outside towards Saraiva, got him twisted around. And my stopwatch next to me, we're 16 seconds into stoppage time. Here's DJ Kulai. Kulai stumbling, playing on Wilson. Wilson puts on a shot. It's blocked. Jose Gomez back outside to LaShoy. Gets there first, but it's off his right foot to Flint City. Just about 20 seconds left here in stoppage time.
The referees must be ready for halftime as well.
It was a long game one. I know we don't have all 3 officials back from that first game as the first half comes to a close. In this Central Conference Championship, Peoria City and Flint City, nothing between the two at the end of 45. So we will step aside after a short break. We'll get you ready for our halftime presentation as well as the second half action.
Central Illinois, we're going to overtime. After 4 years of preps coverage in Central Illinois, Clip Sports Media is ready for a new era, CSM Overtime.
What is CSM Overtime? We're going beyond the broadcast to give you in-depth coverage of your teams,
Your stories, your stats and standings.
your highlights and action shots.
With your subscription, you'll get to see news and feature stories from all sports, up-to-date stats from around the area, and thoughtful analysis from our team of experts. As for our broadcast and social media coverage, it's only getting better.
With your support of Clutch Sports Media Overtime, we'll continue to grow our free broadcast coverage with more sports, more games, and more innovation.
And thanks to our partnership with Too Efficient Media, your social media feeds will be filled with Central Illinois' best sights and sounds. CSM Overtime will also give you access to full galleries from some of the most talented photographers and videographers in our region.
As the new season approaches, it's time for more.
More action. More stories.
More coverage of all Central Illinois sports. It's Clutch Sports Media Overtime.
Welcome back, fans. Shea Stadium in Peoria, Illinois, the host venue for tonight's Central Conference Championship, where it's 0-0 between Peoria City and Flint City. I'm Cody Roskins. Alongside me, Nick Dorn, joining me here at halftime. Nick, a vanilla first half, no goals, some chances, but for the most part, just a well-played 45 minutes.
Very attacking first half. Not as many shots as you would think for how fast they were playing, but defense were stopping them, but they were still moving the ball very fast, both teams.
Kind of breaking down that first half of action, only the lone yellow to really speak of for each side. Coming into the half, they have the scoreboard across from us, 3 shots to 6 shots, neither team generating a ton. But at the end of the day, it's a very prominent power in Flint City. They have a ton of respect around the league, taking on a team that's up and coming in Peoria City. Kind of an interesting storyline coming in because Peoria City is just one of 2 remaining 2 seeds.
Yeah, it's it's pretty crazy how they're still in. I mean, they had a great game last game. But Flint, you can tell they're a 1 seed. They're very good, very sound. But Peoria's right with them. They've been with them the whole game. I'm sure they'll stay with them.
Now, you've been kind of watching this first half from afar with our producer Jonathan Michael on the computer in front of us here. What have you kind of seen through the first 45 minutes that perhaps each team can take advantage of?
I'm seeing. They're both moving the ball well. I think they're both moving, doing the attacking as best they can. It's just being more sound on shots. Flint has been at the beginning of the game. They took about 4 shots. All of them sailed over the net. It's got to be more sound, be more technical with how you're shooting.
Now, I talked with both coaching staffs for the game. They said clinicality in the final third will be the key to this match. So far, neither team has done really much of that. Moving on into the second frame of 45, both teams went all the way to extra time last time out in their last playoff match. Both working with some weak legs, short benches, tired players out of position. It's going to be a grueling match to the very end, and obviously both sides really wanting to find their footing in the national semifinal.
Yeah, it's just really about conditioning, being able to stay with everyone else, being able to run for the whole game, even with extra time, being able to, just run with them, keep playing how you would be playing if you were 100%.
Got about 10 minutes and change left here in the first half before we get back to second half action with both teams prepping and making their adjustments in the locker room. One thing we've always noted about Peoria City this season, in every single regular season second half besides one, they have found a goal in the second half. And so they are really trying to find a way to pressure forward, but at the same time, you've got to give respect to Flint, mainly because they're so fast down the edges and they've played very well in the midfield.
Yeah, Flint has been moving the ball well. You can tell how really good they are. They are sound on defense, sound on midfield, sound on offense. You just gotta attack a weak link really, and just put the ball in the net.
Not a ton of weak links for Flint City, but kind of speaking to your experiences now, you've traveled around, seen a lot of different brands of soccer throughout your youth. Can you kind of touch on some of the stuff that you've seen, one in cup play as well as kind of tournament play that you've seen and we're here tonight?
When I was younger, I would travel with Chicago PDL team, or USL 2 team now. I've been watching this forever. It's really cool now that I'm talking on the mic with it. But I know how it works. I know how all these people really are. It's very cool to be here.
So we'll take a quick moment to take a peek at the bracket. We don't have it completely updated yet, but FC Tucson took down Project 510 in our first of 2 games here at Shea Stadium today. So they advanced to the national semifinal. Winner of this match will meet them for a chance in that same match on Sunday. Interesting dynamic because, again, we touched on it during the live run of play. The 2 seeds have wreaked havoc in this tournament. Only 3 2 seeds remaining coming into tonight. 1 was eliminated, 1 moved on. One's fate still be decided tonight with Peoria City. But it's a testament to just how good this league has become.
Yeah, there's a lot more teams now. Over 100 teams now. Really, anyone's got a shot. it doesn't matter what seed you are. All of them can really win because they all got very good players from all over the world.
With that, we'll go ahead and wind down our coverage here at halftime. We'll step aside for a short break as we get ready for the second half action between Flint City and Peoria City.
Central Illinois, we're going to overtime. After 4 years of preps coverage in Central Illinois, Eclipse Sports Media is ready for a new era, CSM Overtime.
What is CSM Overtime? We're going beyond the broadcast to give you in-depth coverage of your teams,
Your stories, your stats and standings.
your highlights and action shots.
With your subscription, you'll get to see news and feature stories from all sports, up-to-date stats from around the area, and thoughtful analysis from our team of experts. As for our broadcast and social media coverage, it's only getting better.
With your support of Clutch Sports Media Overtime, we'll continue to grow our free broadcast coverage with more sports, more games, and more innovation.
And thanks to our partnership with Too Efficient Media, your social media feeds will be filled with Central Illinois' best sights and sounds. CSM Overtime will also give you access to full galleries from some of the most talented photographers and videographers in our region.
As the new season approaches, it's time for more.
More action, more stories.
More coverage of all Central Illinois sports. It's Clutch Sports Media Overtime.
Welcome back to Shea Stadium as we continue to rattle off the last few minutes here before halftime. Cody Roskins here, bringing you some more details of what got these teams to this point. First, for the Flint City Bucks. Not only were they a dominant force throughout the regular season, this is their 13th berth in the last 14 years. They've got 9 conference finals appearances in that span. And you see those last middle two bullets, allowed 1 goal or less in 12 games. And we've touched on it a couple times throughout the broadcast. Scored the go-ahead goal with only 9 men in their conference semifinal match against Fort Wayne FC. They've just been a continued powerhouse and perennial problem for anybody in the USL 2, especially in the postseason. On the other side of that, it's the 3rd season. The young Peoria City Carp, just their 2nd ever USL 2 postseason berth since beginning play back in 2021-22. They averaged a very modest 3.4 goals per game in their last 5 matches. They beat Heartland Division champion Des Moines 4-2 in penalties after going 5-5 all the way through extra time. They also drew the Menace twice through the regular season. We've touched on a lot, but Luke Persenico is the spoon that stirs the drink. 12 goals on his season thus far. Touching more on that 9-man just iconic win for Flint City. Not only did they find the way to claw out that result, but they also managed to scratch across a berth in this match tonight. They played 32 minutes with less than 11 men back on Sunday. Red cards to Schneider Mimi and the 78th and Landon Fisher in the 105th. And the last goal there scored by Baraka Tarleton in the 115th minute off a header. And it was a phenomenal effort. Talked to the coaching staff for the game tonight. They're looking for more resiliency like that tonight to find them through. On the other side of the equation, another team that went the full 115, a game for the ages for Peoria City. Des Moines scored 2 goals in the second half to force extra time in an 11-minute span. Peoria City took the lead in extra time, 4-3, before turning it around in a 4-5 deficit. Fritz Volmar, U.S. men's national team U20 prospect, scored the last goal of stop extra time at 5 before Peoria City would go on to win it in penalty kicks 4-2 after Sammy Slimmy stopped 2 of them. We've got just about 4 minutes left here in the first half as these two teams continue to try and find a game plan and adjust for what could come here in half number 2. Again, Cody Roskins here. Mike Baer joining me shortly again after a quick jaunt around the friendlies here in Peoria. And Coach, we just got done running down what it took to get both teams here. For Flint, down 2 men. They scored with, 32 minutes of playing with those 9 men and the 115th minute to get here. Peoria City took down their division rival and thorn in their side in the Menace. But tonight, neither team has really thrown a big uppercut yet.
Yeah, I think we're just waiting for that first goal to really open this game up. But the way the game has gone for the first 45 minutes, 1 goal might be enough to win this contest.
As again, only about 3.5 minutes to go as some of the Peoria City bench has made their way back out onto the field. Still awaiting some of both teams to come out of the locker room. And Coach is kind of recapping the day of soccer here in Peoria in game 1 of our doubleheader. It was a fantastic match. We saw a very young, the youngest team in the tournament actually, Project 510, go toe-to-toe with FC Tucson. Had the lead 1-0, had plenty of chances, couldn't quite punch them through, lost in the second half after back-to-back second half goals. Tough way to go out of the playoffs, but they've got a lot of promise out there in Oakland. Yeah, talking to some of the people that are in the know around here, the Project 510 is a really interesting system because they have a USL championship side. So they played a lot of young players. I was told it was probably the youngest team in the entire USL 2. And they're about developing the younger talent to help them in the first team. They come into the game with pre-planned substitution patterns. It's not about the results necessarily, it's more about development of the players, and that was really neat to see today. Now on the other side of that, FC Tucson advanced to their first ever national semifinal night. A huge step for that program. Not only have they been so close so often, they've had success in the postseason in years past. They were formerly in the USL 2 before jumping up to a different division, jumping back down to the USL 2, and that's a big moment for that club as well. Yeah, huge. I mean, for them, I'm sure traveling all the way from Arizona, I'm sure it wasn't easy traveling in here on an airplane, getting down to Peoria, getting prepared for this match. But I'm sure they're in attendance tonight, taking a look at this game and seeing what they're in store for on Sunday. That they are, most likely. It looks like just along the far side of the bleachers there, perhaps a contingency of FC Tucson members. 1:40 left as Peoria City continues to trickle out of the locker room. So too now does the Flint City Bucks. And Coach, there's not much left to say about this one other than we're going to have a really fun next 45 minutes because somebody's either going home or we're going to extra time. Yeah, like we talked about before with that rivalry between Peoria City and Des Moines. Tonight, someone's got to win this game. Whether that's in regulation, overtime, or in penalties, there's going to be a winner and someone's going to advance to Sunday's match. Just as a reminder, Flint City won their division out of the Great Lakes with 33 points in the table. Joining them was Midwest United FC. They bowed out earlier in the postseason. For Peoria City, they were in perhaps the most chaotic division in all of the USL 2 with the Heartland Division. 4 teams finishing north of 21 points, all 4 of which had a chance to clinch a playoff spot going into the last 2 games of the season. But at the end of the day, there can only be 2. That's right, and it was a really fun season to see how that played out with all those teams in contention until the very end of the season. And fortunately for Peoria City here tonight, they not only got to host last week's round of games, they get to host this week's rounds of games, and potentially if they were advanced to a championship game, I've heard that they're in the running to potentially get the championship match. So but for them, they're just trying to get through this one right now. All you can do is play the minutes in front of you, and Mike Pay knows that just about as good as anybody. A man getting ready to begin the middle stages of the decade at Clark, and brought a lot of his younger, lower level guys here to the Peoria City team, a team that was very heavily laden with D1 guys a season ago. And you and I were talking before the game off the air that this is essentially a lot of Division I guys against a lot of not Division I guys. Yeah, but you know what? There's great talent at all levels. There's overlapping teams that, a D2 team could beat a D1 team. An NAI team could beat a D2 team. There's very much overlapping up against 3 to 4 Flint City players, and they were able to clear the box. Schneider Mimi. Trying to get it in behind. LaShoy gets a little twisted around. Long pass forward to Joao Saraiva. Trying to get it outside to Persenico and Kulai. It's going to be a lot of quick build-up. For Peoria City tonight. Near side here, again, Mimi. Again, he's one of those guys that had a red card in the last match, had it rescinded by the USL 2, so he is available tonight. In, and that never broke back in, and so it'll belong to Griziak.
Going back to that first half, we saw both teams generate chances. It really came down to that final pass, the final shot that just wasn't quite there for either team. Still looking for that first real chance that's going to test either goalkeeper.
Bichette. Riordan climbing up the ladder. Claypier. Now here to the near side. William Pandeka. His college team actually played here last season here at Shea Stadium at Mercer, which was a 2-2 draw in which I saw one of the most spectacular goals I've ever seen. A ball shot from about 38, 40 yards out, ricocheted in for Bradley to level the match at 2-2 in that one. And that made SportsCenter's top 10 plays at number 3. And so I'm sure he remembers that day very well. And a game that Mercer probably should have had in the bag. And all of a sudden he was going home with a draw.
Mercer has some Bradley ties actually with their head coach, Brad Russo, and they're in the SoCon conference, and they're a perennial power in that conference, traditionally coming out of that league as a bid into the NCAA tournament.
Here's this is Coughlin. Now you see LaShoy join the attack. 5 forward for Peoria City. They try to this near side to LaShoy. LaShoy inside. LaShoy still moving. LaShoy trying to cut it in. Lays it off to Persenico. Running out of real estate, and well done by the Bucks.
That's what Jonas will give you from that right back position, able to get forward. That direct play like we talked about from Peoria City got him in. Had some dribbling skill around the box and just couldn't quite generate a chance.
Now ball over the top to Henry with no LaShoy back there to check him. Henry drives in on Coughlin. Shot curled and high.
Yeah, you nailed it there, Cody. LaShoy had a hard time getting back from that run he made all the way into the box. One of the advantage for Peoria City, having those dual sixes, those dual defensive mids, you can get some cover in the wide area, so it created a matchup that Tommy Coughlin had to defend Malik Henry in space. And Malik was able to get off a good shot.
And that is not the matchup Peoria City wants to see very often tonight. That is not necessarily speed against non-speed. It's two wingers essentially having to have a one-on-one war with each other. A lot of space here. Riordan out wide. Chance for Flint City. They come inside, continuing to dribble well, and it's into the side netting. Best look of the second half for Flint City.
Some great individual play there. Again, as this half goes on, as this game goes on, someone's going to have to start taking some risks. You know, Jonas making that run forward is a risk they're taking that might expose them the other way. But, you know, who's going to take the risk that could potentially win them the game or cost them the game?
Flint City will attack at times with upwards of 6, 7, maybe even 8 players if they really feel the need to. Header won by the Bucks. Second ball won by City. Gibson trying to find it to DJ Kulai. Instead, here's Jonas LaShoy. Kulai turns, and it will stick with Peoria City. Saraiva entangled with Kulai and company. Strong tackle by Coughlin. It will belong to the Bucks.
Talked about potentially seeing some changes here in the second half. To be honest, not much has changed. Peoria City is still looking to play more direct balls. Flint still having a lot of the ball and trying to build. And Neither team getting great chances on target.
Turnover in the counterattack. Still here. Somehow still loose. Peoria City will have it. Gomez initiated that little sequence. Looked like Persenico could have had a better ball in. Instead, it never really found its way there. Saraiva trying to run towards the top of the 18. He was taken off his feet. Now a chance for Flint City with some pace. Here comes Josmir Gomez working against the midfielder Tommy Coughlin. And a foul against Tommy Coughlin in a semi-dangerous spot.
Great job by Gomez there. He was off on that counterattack a little bit all by himself and was able to draw a foul and create a dangerous set-piece opportunity for Flint.
Last time taking it was Darryl Riordan. We'll have 2 over the ball this time with Mimi. And Piercy will let Mimi take it himself. It'll be a 2-man wall, the 2 midfielders, Saraiva and Coughlin. Whatever height Peoria City has out there will need to be man-marked. Curling backside of everything. It still stays in play, and Gomez will just rocket it towards midfield. Service in again, and Slimmy makes the catch. Shea has some space, switching the play outside to Persenico. And offsides. And that is not a popular call with the home fans.
Yeah, the home crowd had a great view of that. It's directly in line with the main grandstand here at Shea Stadium. And that's the first time we've heard some grumbles from the crowd tonight.
Sure, it'll be far from the last. 55th minute in the second half. These 2 teams fighting for a spot in Sunday's National Semifinal against FC Tucson. Justin Wilson battling against Mimi. It's been a good one. No fouls yet, and last off of Peoria City. Jose Gomez is called for the foul. Did get a piece of the ball, but not before he was raked across Colin Inez.
Yeah, he had his hands dragging down the attacking player as well, which I think resulted in the foul.
Coughlin gets the better of Henry. Now Kulai walling off. Kulai back-heeled, lays it off. No, decides not to lay it off to the internal running Saraiva. Now lays it to him outside. And no foul there. Officials will play on.
And people say soccer isn't a physical sport.
Yeah, I don't buy that much. It's definitely been a physical game from what we've seen in the postseason. These 2 teams, it's been, again, pretty vanilla here in the first 10 minutes of the second half. No sprinkles to speak of. Just the lone close call by the Bucks in the opening few minutes of this half. Giving some space. Going outside off the foot of Gomez. He gets it back, tries to drive in on Dickerson. Josh Reddy still through. Strong tackle, though, by Wes Gibson. Jammed it right on his big toe.
That's the second time we've seen a huge tackle from Wes Gibson just right at the top of the box. He doesn't make that tackle.
Oh, DJ Kulai, filthy move. Gets it forward to Wilson, trying to find some help to Persenico. Backside to LaShoy and Gomez. LaShoy back inside to DJ, still loose, chopped in front of goal. Peoria City trying to find a shot, rocketed forward and blocked again by the Bucks.
Wow. End-to-end stuff now. This is what the fans want to see.
Quickly outside to Claypier. Chip forward off the head of Gibson. Peoria City's defense is stretched thin. Strong tackle, though, by Coughlin. He's had a really good first 12 minutes and change of the second half. Here's Henry. Henry's ball outside. This is where they had the good run earlier from Flint City. Sailing, continuing to sail, and it's off of Slimmy. And it will be a Flint City corner. It was kind of an awkward fall. Slimmy had it, lost it, but the argument Peoria City wanted to make is that came off of a member in red along that back in line.
Yeah, Slimmy was pretty confident that the Flint City player got a touch on that before it went out of play, but not in the eyes of the officials, so it's going to be another Flint City corner kick.
These have been very dangerous tonight. They haven't scored on one yet, but plenty of threatening looks. Jonas Bichette. It'll be an in-swinging ball from this near side. Towards that front post. Sent right back out. Will he swing it in again? Saraiva trying to play his best defense. And that will be a goal kick to Sammy Slimmy.
Yeah, I got to go back to that opportunity for Peoria City moments ago. What a great ball from Jonas, whipping the ball in. It clears the center back. DJ had a great opportunity to get his head on that ball, just didn't quite connect. It falls to the back post to Persenico, and again, he's not quite able to connect either, but that's the best chance of the game so far for Peoria City.
Josh Reddy takes the short look from Slimmy. Now he's working very deep in his own end. Nearly had one of those Des Moines giveaways. Bicycle effort out of the midfield. Try and spark something. Josh Reddy fakes it back to Slimmy.
Definitely feel like the game is livening up now, though.
Both teams know they're about 20-odd minutes away from getting really down to the nitty-gritty. Dickerson, slide tackle, does the job. There's Kulai. Kulai gets it again. He goes down. As Dickerson caught a little out of position. Could play it off to Claypier, instead goes inside to Henry. Opens up for him a little bit. Putting on a shot, and it's just wide. Had Slimmy beat bending to that near post. That will awaken the Bucks faithful that have made the trip.
Thought that was in.
It looked like it was in from our vantage point. It couldn't have been far from that nearsighted post.
I think every Peoria City fan had a perfect view of that shot from the grandstand. They were all holding their breath.
61st minute in the second half, and two really good looks from Flint City. I've given them all the momentum.
You're starting to get a feeling like a goal's coming at this point. Both teams having their best chances of the game opening up more, becoming a little bit more wide open, more end-to-end, more physical. Feel like a goal's about to come.
Here's Henry. Has some teammates with him in support. Brock Pickett, haven't said his name a ton tonight. He's had an okay evening. Back out that way, Dickerson goes down, playing on, and a foul against Flint City. And that is some of the jousting we saw in the first half. And good sportsmanship between the two. They knew that was quality on quality.
Yeah, going in here to the 62nd minute of the game, this is where you start to see a little bit of fatigue set in as well. Also where both benches are probably thinking about some changes they may be making here soon. Maybe around the 65th, 70th minute, you see some of the substitutes warming up right now. Really could make an impact on the game.
LaShoy gets a really good header flicked forward. Here's Wilson. Justin Wilson doesn't beat the keeper. Played back in. It's that man from Clark, Luke Persenico.
What a ball from DJ into Justin Wilson. What a save by the goalkeeper, but who is it? It's Luke Persenico on the doorstep to knock it in. We've seen that a few times here so far this season.
And has that awoken the 309 as they roar to life. The kid from Clark coming through in half number 2.
On the way back from the locker room, I made eye contact with Coach Pay, and I held up one finger. And he put it back one finger. He said, 1 goal is what we need. We need 1 goal. That might be all they need to advance to Sunday.
And the faithful have roared to life. The Flying Carp out in front. But, Coach, as you and I both know, as fun as that sequence was for the home fans, if there's ever a team that isn't worried about a 1-0 deficit in the 63rd minute, it's probably the Flint City Bucks.
And I'll tell you what, a team in Peoria City that gave up a 2-goal lead in the second half to Des Moines Menace just last week, this game is far from over. The next 5 minutes
Critical.
are the biggest part of this game. How will Flint City respond?
So officially scoring that last sequence. A 62nd minute goal by Persenico, assisted by Justin Wilson. Now numbers again for City. Out wide to Wilson again. Another advance in from him. Skating by, Persenico will track it down, and it will go out for a Peoria City corner. Their first of the night. And now the 309 is going to get a little rowdy.
Yeah, we talked about it. Just needed a goal to get this crowd back in the game. They're definitely in the game now.
And now the main grandstand starting to roar to life as well. It will be Jose Gomez to take this corner again. Peoria City, no Abasa RME out tonight due to the double yellow-red carding that he got in their last match. This is going to have to find some space. Whip backside, Gibson couldn't quite get it on his right foot.
I'll tell you something very promising that I heard before the match is that Abasa will be back for Sunday's match if Peoria City is fortunate enough to advance.
Again, I'm almost certain that Flint City isn't stressed about this deficit too much. They're a team that plays well in the postseason. They have all this prestige for a reason. But for the time being, Cinderella is still dancing here in Peoria. Ball over the top, trying to find Kulai. Griziak claims it.
I don't think you're going to see much to change here from Peoria City. They're going to continue to sit numbers behind the ball, look to play off the counterattack, direct balls forward, pick up second balls, and just try to see this game out.
Ball now to the foot of Dare O'Riordan. Oh, and that's the first time that Wes Gibson appeared to have been beaten tonight. Throw-in coming quickly.
Yeah, for me, Wes Gibson's been the defensive man of the match. His 2 tackles right at the top of the box likely prevented 2 Flint City goals.
Counterattack again. This is where Peoria City thought they could have some advantage tonight. Again to Gomez. To Wilson. They've got 4 forward. Wilson will work one-on-one. Dumped off to Jonas Lashoy. Lashoy chipped towards that back post, and DJ Kulai. And it's out for a Peoria City corner. So after going 62 minutes without a single corner, they've got 2 in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, you can just see that goal has given Peoria City even more confidence. And again, it's down this right-hand side of the field. Lashoy and Wilson connection down this right-hand flank has been dangerous for Peoria City in the last 5 to 10 minutes.
So Gomez makes the walk over. Peoria City tried to go far post last time. Will they switch it up? There is no short man to take this. This will be put in to the penalty area. Line towards that front post, and it took a very unfortunate bounce for the Carp. This is laid back. Slimmy's going to have to get there quick, and Ever just so closely got that out in front. Make no mistake about it, Flint is more than capable of erasing this small deficit with roughly 23-ish minutes remaining.
Peoria City here just wants to stay compact, stay organized, keep the numbers behind the ball, good 1v1 defending.
Well, and this is where things will get a little tricky. They're going to put a lot of bodies forward. Dickerson didn't clear it well. It'll stay with the Bucks. Two players out of position along the back line, working with almost 6 or 7 in their face at all times. Flicked forward, still with the Bucks. Mimi switches the play, and that will go over everything. So 68th minute here in Peoria, and it's the Carp out in front 1-0 in this clash between David and Goliath.
Yeah, for Peoria City, this last 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes or so, it's going to be about that 1v1 defending, especially on the flanks, and then the center backs. How well can they defend their box? You saw there's 3 crosses in a row from the wings for Flint City, and Peoria City did a great job defending their box.
Joao Saraiva outside, nicely led towards Wilson. He's being marked well. Flint has done a really good job in transition, but here's Saraiva. Carries it outside, spins one off of one of the backline members in O'Riordan, and it will now be another Carp corner.
You can see some game management here from Peoria City. You know what, let's go ahead and change who's taking the corner and kill another minute off the game. You can see the referee, I think, saying something there to the Peoria City players. Hey, let's watch it, let's be careful, let's not waste too much time. I'll add it back on at the end.
Couple of subs beginning to warm up for each side. This looks like it'll be Persenico. Line towards the front post and Dickerson. It will be another Carp corner. Getting ready to check into the match. It'll be 21-12 for Flint City.
And making noise for another Castle patio in corner.
That'll be Bariz Blama and Abdul Rahman Al Rashid. For Peoria City, it'll be number 16, Miles Safanovong. Again inside, and Peoria City just doesn't have much lethality on those corners tonight.
No, you can see they're trying to target maybe more the near post, maybe because they don't have as much size today up with Abasa being out. If my intel's correct, I think you'll likely see Wilson coming off and Miles coming on.
So again, subs beginning to take place. 14 and 10 off for 12 and 21. For Flint City. Miles Safanovong giving Justin Wilson's night an end, the man who recorded the assist.
Yeah, phenomenal job, especially in the second half for Wilson. He really came into the game in the second half, had a huge impact for the Carp.
Flicked forward, here's DJ Kulai. Not many as quick as he in the USL 2. He's not necessarily fast, but he's very twitchy, I guess I would say. Nice ball down the far side, though, for the Bucks. Just what they needed, but nobody in support, but it'll have it on the throw-in.
Interesting change here, too. It looks like, Miles has transitioned out to the left wing. Traditionally plays more in the middle of the field as a central defensive midfielder. Now playing out on the left wing tonight, but gives you a little bit of that defensive responsibility from that wing, dropping in and helping in the midfield.
Nice move in by Mimi. Turning, trying to find an avenue. It's the substitute, number 21, Al Rashid. And it's a goal kick. And it was very poignant. They wrote an article before the postseason started why every team would win the championship and why they wouldn't win the championship. One of the main reasons that they circled for Peoria City not winning it, they didn't think Luke Persenico, a little kid from Clark, could get his team as much production as he had here in the postseason.
Well, he's certainly proved them wrong. Also, too, I think this entire team has proven the league wrong.
Here is Persenico again. Does he have a second? It's touched away, and it will belong to Peoria City. Now, one of the reasons they said that Peoria City would win the championship is this home crowd, averaging well over 1,000 fans every night for a home game, a raucous environment. Playoff games at home, they're just easier. That's just a matter of fact.
Yeah, I think if you look at Peoria City's record at home this season, it's pretty impressive. I think in the league, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they only lost one match in the league all season here at Shea Stadium.
As I'm rattling off the attendance number, not only does it share the same value as our current calendar year, but it'll be the highest attended crowd this season for a actual match for Peoria City. 2,024 fans in attendance tonight here at Shea Stadium.
That's awesome. Congratulations to the Peoria soccer community. Get out here and supporting these boys in their run through these USL 2 playoffs. I'll tell you, this team plays with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, and they believe they can win this whole thing.
Josh Reddy, man who took the long throw in, and a foul. As Saraiva going down after the foul. Number 21 again for Flint City, Abdul Rahman Al-Rashid.
I did promise Coach Pay a churro Sunday if they win the match tonight. I don't know if the taco truck's still out there or not. I have to check on that. Might just send someone out to get the churro Sunday.
I don't know if I've ever heard of a churro Sunday.
Well, they have it here at Shea Stadium.
LaShoy, that pass was too close. Anybody for Flint City will belong to the Bucks.
See here again, Peoria City is dropping numbers behind the ball. 11 behind the ball for Peoria City. They're going to let Flint have all the ball here in their defensive half of the field. And this is where they'll pick up the pressure in the middle third of the field.
Ball over the top. LaShoy snuffs it out for Henry. And that one will cross the near-sided inline, headed towards the field side club seats as Griziak will come out of the penalty area as we get to the 74th minute. So just about 15 left. Here at Shea Stadium, the young Carp trying to be minnows no longer.
And this is where Flint City's got to start taking some more chances, get more numbers up the field. Maybe play some more direct balls into the box to pick up seconds, similar to what Peoria City's done all match. They need a goal. Their season's on the line.
Miles Safanovong marking William Pendeka out of Flower Mound, Texas. Played just north of 1,500 minutes this last year at Mercer. But again, this is where it starts to get dangerous for Peoria City. Again, they're playing with two members out of position along the back line against a very strong attack as Gomez plays it forward. And Slimmy, that's an underrated play because has that go off the tip of his fingers, that's going into the back of the net.
Yeah, very confident play from Slimmy. He's been great tonight. You know, the one, probably the best chance so far for Flint. I think Slimmy was beat, but he'll tell you he had that far post covered.
Header won by the Bucks. They've done a really good job to get that out of their own end for the time being. Peoria City definitely playing the second ball.
Yeah, I've heard that come from the Peoria City bench over and over and over tonight. They say pick up the seconds, and what they're talking about is off that first longer ball, can they pick up the second ball in the midfield?
Oh, it takes a bad touch. Now here's Flint. Chance to break out and a tackle, resulting in a free kick. Got a bit of the ball. No yellow coming in as Henry tried to distribute. And now again, dangerous situation for Peoria City's defense. We'll keep harping on it. I'm sure fans at home watching are tired of us saying it, but they've got essentially a midfielder and a left winger playing a center back and right back positions tonight. They are without two of their biggest guns along that back line in Fritz Volmar and Abasa Aramiao.
And I don't see them making any changes going forward the rest of this game. They're going to keep that back four intact. I think if you see another change potentially for Peoria City, it might be in the attacking, maybe the forward position for DJ, who right now maybe is on heavy legs chasing out all these first balls. Maybe you bring in Serge up top to kind of dig some of those balls out. But I think you're going to keep your back four intact and say, we're going to live and die by this group tonight.
Mimi will take it. Defender from Oral Roberts and North Miami, Florida. Going back post, it's loose, headed still, trying to get it cleared off the line. The Carp, and it's the winger playing right back, Jonas LaShoy, reading his defender textbook, I'm sure, at halftime, getting it off the line.
You know, that really is soccer one-on-one. When your goalkeeper comes out and he calls it, defenders are told to get to the line. That's why you get to the line. You cover your goalkeeper. And Jonas was in the right spot at the right time and saved the season for Peoria City.
That's another just really good chance, though, for the Bucks. You feel it coming in the air right now that Flint City has got a really good look left in them.
This game is far from over. There's a lot of time on that clock.
Yeah, we won't have a ton of stoppage time. That took a poor run off the header from Persenico.
Tell you what, the Peoria City faithful, if they say any more than 1 minute on that clock and stoppage, they're going to be upset.
And that one, I was holding my breath trying to get you to wrap up your thought, Coach, but that was nearly bent in. Slimmy, I don't think, anticipated the pivot and shot as quickly as it came in.
It's getting a little nervous here for Peoria City fans. Flint is starting to build up the chances one after another here. And you can only hold out for so long. Peoria City needs to get a little bit of the ball. They need to get the ball forward. They need to pick up some seconds.
And you're right, Coach. They haven't won many second balls in the midfield here in the last 4 minutes or so.
I think they're struggling to even get on for those first balls, and it probably likely due to some heavy legs from DJ. He's put a lot of miles in on his legs here tonight.
LaShoy turns it away for the time being. 79th minute. William Pendeka outside. A lot of bodies forward now for the Bucks. Hard tackle on the left side, by the right side from the captain, Charlie Dickerson, who had his captain's band ripped off his arm and broken in the first 6 minutes of this contest.
I saw him playing with that. I didn't quite know what was going on. Another corner kick for Flint.
This will be a Bucks corner along that far side. They've had some really good chances here lately. Whipped in. Header still down, loose. Safonavong up the line. Soft touch forward. The Bucks still have it in a threatening spot. O'Riordan and Slimmy with the basket catch in the 80th minute.
Tick, tick, tick. Right, Peoria City just trying to watch those seconds tick off the clock.
Slimmy, ball over the top. It's Persenico. How did he get that wide open along the back line? Persenico, the step over and carry, mistouched it for a moment. We'll play it back in. DJ couldn't square it up. Saraiva loads on a shot. It's blocked. That didn't look like it was all too confident. Ball free and a foul. So a yellow against DJ Kulai. Now he's got to be careful. So the second yellow of the game for Peoria City.
With these two teams, odds are there's probably going to be a red card, right? Before the end of the night?
Well, I mean, both these two teams had their fair share in the last playoff match.
But that's more what Peoria City wants. You saw they're able to generate a little bit, going forward, create a chance, and watch that time tick off the clock.
Safonavong clears it out of play to Peoria City. 81st minute. Again, a club just in their third year trying to claim a conference championship as now Charlie Dickerson is down on the field for Peoria City. He is up, but maybe caught a stinger to the back. Again, a lot of miles for these guys. Dickerson started every single regular season game this year and, to my knowledge, hasn't been subbed off once.
Yeah, the game against Des Moines, that was a grueling game. Actually was at the training on Wednesday night, and Persenico and Charlie didn't even train. They were still so banged up from that last game on the weekend. They just wanted to rest their legs in preparation for the game here tonight.
We've seen late leads erased at Shea Stadium a lot this season. The Menace have done it twice. Thunder Bay came close. They had a few chances late in their match in this playoff, but couldn't quite punch one across before surrendering a second. Ball switched to the outside portion of play. Here's Jose Gomez. Kulai couldn't make the tackle. It's back out wide again. 7 bodies forward now. Blocked away by Dickerson. Joao Saraiva trying to find space to work. He's working against 3, somehow finding his way out of it.
Well done.
That'll get an applause from the home crowd. Now Dickerson sends a souvenir into the stands. And it was caught. Gets an ovation from the crowd.
If this is a Savannah Bananas game, that's an out.
It's an out. I'm not sure what you would do in soccer. Is somebody ejected? Is it a goal? Is it a free kick?
Someone will come up with that idea for us.
I hope not. Riziak now well outside the penalty area, trying to compact this Peoria City defense that is so short-handed tonight.
Yeah, something we haven't really talked about, not having the players that we mentioned, not only does it affect your starting 11, it also changes up your bench that you have.
Oh, dangerous chance. Back inside. Kick save. Still loose. Back inside. Saraiva continues to just run him out of space, and it's cleared away. Slimmy applauding his defenders.
Yeah, point-blank save there from Slimmy, and then his defender did the job to clear the box.
Quick throw in, 84th minute. We don't know how much stoppage time will be added back on yet. I see our near side official glancing at his Apple Watch. Enoch Oladipo trying to discern how much we will have left. Oh, nice run through the midfield, going backside. Over everything, but it's still in play.
You can just see the heavy legs out there, and where you're starting to see it in some of these 1v1 scenarios, just being able to sit down, move your feet, stay disciplined. It's harder to do when you're tired.
Oh, going backside, got a man there. Arizi Blama had a really good spot picked out. Credit to him. So it appears Peoria City is warming up their next bench move, as well as Flint City. Michael Cardit, another one of the Clark products from Mike Pay, going to his guys here in crunch time.
Yeah, he's traditionally a center back, so this will be interesting to see what they do with Michael coming off the bench. Do they use him in the back line, or do they work him somewhere in another position and just have him come out here and defend?
And a foul as Dickerson goes down. Again, that substitute for Flint City, number 22, Jeldrick Dahlman, getting ready to come into the match. The man out of SMU, the Mustang from Germany. He was a unanimous All-AAC first-team selection, Herman Trophy semifinalist. He's a forward. Now 2 more subs getting ready to join him. 28, Kai Phillip. Alongside him, number 13, Baraka Tarleton.
And I think we're going to see Serge as well for Peoria City. I could see him replacing DJ up top. Michael, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes in potentially for Jonas. You don't really need Jonas' attacking ability at this point. You need to see the game out. So maybe bring in Michael on as a wide back just to have him defend in the wide areas.
A lot of moves. Again, 3 coming into the game for the Bucks. Dahlman, Phillip, all checking in alongside what will soon be Danny Sergev for Peoria City and Michael Cardit. Baraka Tarleton also in that group of 3 for Flint City. Ball near side to Mimi. Line back inside, space here, line through, and it's the last off a Carp. That was nearly it for the Bucks. Again, you can hear them knocking on the door.
Wow, that was a great chance for Flint. And another Flint corner. That's their 7th corner kick of the game.
Again, Peoria City went the whole first half without a corner. They've got 4 here in the second.
Peoria City substitution, 22 Danny Sergev and 5 Michael Cardit.
This is a tricky scenario because Peoria City, their substitutions are coming in on a defensive corner kick, and sometimes, you know, that's your first
changes up the assignments.
Yeah, and your first introduction into the game is having to defend a corner and defend your box.
So it looks like it'll be Saraiva. So it'll be a midfield for center back sub. So perhaps they'll bump him to holding midfield. And it'll be a straight swap at the top of the formation for DJ Kulai and Danny Sergev.
Potentially, or they could go to a back 5. That's another thing we've seen Peoria City play out of that 3-5-2 that can turn into a 5-3-2. Potentially, that might be what they're doing here. We'll have to see once the game opens up.
Charlie Dickerson trying to get them all set. We are in the 87th minute. Line back inside, over the top of goal, but the Bucks are oh so close.
free header at the 6. It's not what you want to see for Peoria City in the last 5 minutes of the game. So here we'll get an opportunity to see if the system changes or if it's just a straight personnel swap. Looks like Michael's coming in as one of those defensive midfielders alongside Gomez, and they look like they've potentially shifted Coughlin up to the attacking mid.
Sergeant, very physical at the top, maybe, like you said there, to win some more of those matchups.
Not as pacey as DJ, but a big body, good at winning first balls.
Well, and he gives them something on set pieces as well with a 6'5" frame. Big run forward here from Al Rashid, ready. And it falls into the waiting arms of Sammy Slimmy. So the Carp can taste it. They are oh so close. Slimmy sends another long ball towards Danny Sergev. Wins the header. Cardick couldn't get a good swing on it. Here's Wes Gibson. Punts it forward to reset the shape. 89th minute. Coach, it's getting down to the wire.
It really is. And if you're Flint City, it's just whatever you got to do to create a chance, get as many numbers forwards as possible. You might get one more good chance in these reigning moments of the game, and you got to make the most of it.
We will have stoppage time tacked back on. Persenico playing defense. You can see his heavy legs. A man that has given so much to this team in the postseason. Going backside! Nearly there for the Bucks, and they will wonder what if.
That was one heck of a play by Charlie Dickerson on the back post. He had the mid-air, balls in the air. He had to adjust his body to get something on it and win the ball, and he did just that.
The man out of Norwich, England, in Bradley University, trying to find his team through here in the playoffs. Still through in Wes Gibson. Still with the Bucks. Turning, looking for space, blocked away. Turns, fires, still loose. Can anybody get there for Flint? 90th minute.
This is postseason soccer, whatever it takes.
And it will be a corner. They're bringing up Griesiak. This for all the marbles. Shea Stadium holds its breath.
I'm holding my breath.
In swinging ball, 90th minute, headed away. Hit by LaShoy, shot put on, and it just didn't bend the right way.
How many minutes of stoppage time? You can see Coach Pay asking the official, how many? I'd be surprised if there were fewer than 3 minutes, but we'll see what the official word is.
5 minutes of stoppage time will be added back on.
Coach Pay cannot believe it.
That is a very large amount and an instant reaction from the Peoria City faithful, but the Bucks will be happy with it as we are in stoppage time now, officially being kept on the field. Here's Persenico to send them through. It's blocked.
Coach Pay probably has a good cause to argue that. The first half, we felt for sure there had to be at least 2 to 3 minutes of stoppage time. He only called for 1 minute. Second half, it seems to be a strong 5 minutes of stoppage.
How did Persenico get out of that? And it is a Carp corner. Half a minute gone of the 5 minutes we've been told will be put back on.
Again, that is a minimum of 5 minutes, so if there are additional stoppages or the referee deems that Peoria City is wasting too much time, they can add additional time onto that.
Dickerson, man over the ball, just trying to wall it off and waste some time. The danger in that is you don't have anybody back in defense. Cardit, hard tackle, belongs to the Bucks.
Yeah, right there for Cardit. It's ball or foul. You have to stop the counter.
Poked back again by Cardit. 1:10 gone in stoppage time. Josh Reddy again clears it out of his own end.
It's a great job by Reddy. It's kind of a, you don't want to clear that ball straight to the middle of the field. You want to put it out to the wide areas, make the goalkeeper track into the wide areas.
Ball switched to the near side. Schneider Mimi. Header won by Flint. Dickerson for Peoria City. Now Safanavong. Up the line to a wide open Danny Sergev. Serge trying to find space. Serge again.
Get in.
Big tackle by Coughlin.
Get to the corner.
Outside to Serge again, milking the clock. Danny Sergev will wall it off. Turns. No foul. Shea Stadium erupts. Big counter coming for Flint. 2:12 gone in stoppage time.
If you're Serge, you can't worry about that. You just got to sprint back and help defend. We need 11 players behind the ball right now.
It doesn't get much tighter than this. 2.5 gone through stoppage time. Micah Sonnenberg checking in for the throw-in.
Peoria City knocked off a league power last week in Des Moines Menace. And they're potentially about to knock off another power in Flint City.
Header by Gomez, free ball for Sonnenberg. Safonavong clears it away. 3 minutes gone in stoppage time. Griziak joining the forward momentum. Sailing in, Slimmy is caught up, and he was fouled. All we were told all week, there's no club quite like Flint City. The prestige, the titles, division championships. Peoria City trying to make their mark in the USL 2. Oh, so close, 90 seconds left.
The Peoria City bench is already starting to celebrate. Don't celebrate too early, boys. We've seen it go the other way. We got to finish this game out.
Griziak, 3:45 gone in stoppage time. Going backside again, Brock Pickett. LaShoy's there for the header, and it will be a throw-in, not a corner. .407, near post, LaShoy has it. Serge lays it off, could get it forward. Big ball in behind to Persenico. Luke Persenico to send him through. Couldn't get it off. Now Safonavong heads to the near side corner, boots it out of play. It's a Carp corner.
Tricky situation for Persenico right there. He's got a breakaway to goal. Keeper's caught out. Probably makes the right decision just to not go for goal, but just to kill off the game.
I stand corrected. It will be a throw-in. 4:49. This stadium may erupt in the next 10 seconds. Danny Sergev, there's the full-time whistle. Peoria City is moving on to the national semifinal. Down go the Bucks and the 1-seed Killers. Peoria City will continue to play Cinderella as the dance will continue.
The storybook ending could still happen for this team this season. 2 more wins to a national title.
They will meet FC Tucson on Sunday. 2 2-seeds fought their way through the Western Conference and the Central Conference for a right to play in the national title game. We want to congratulate Jim DeRose, John Dorn, Bobby Parker, Matt Sheenan, and of course head coach Mike Pay and his Carp for winning the Central Conference.
Now you got to recover and get ready for Sunday.
You're telling me there's another game
There's
after?
another game.
They will play another here at Shea on Sunday. Coach, your final match thoughts? A 60-second goal by Persenico is all that was needed.
Well, if we're being honest, the first half wasn't too entertaining. We're up here just trying to get through the first half onto the second half. But I'll tell you what, things got spicy in the second half. Peoria City gets the only goal that they need to advance and defended and defended and defended and found their way into the national semifinal.
Short-handed, overlooked, punching above their weight class, many said. Luke Persenico couldn't take them that far. They would need some help. None of that has mattered to this group. A bunch of NAIA, low-level D1 guys are moving on to the national semifinal. on Sunday at 1:30.
A lot of hugs and a lot of smiles out there tonight.
The party will go long into the night. Perhaps not for the players, but as I'm losing my voice, we'll begin to wrap this production up. For everybody at our Clutch Sports Media presentation, for Jonathan Michael, Coach Mike Bear, myself, Cody Roskins, everybody in Peoria, Illinois, good night, and we will see you Sunday.